Day 162, Divided Kingdom, 1 Kings 12, 2 Chronicles 10-11, Song of Solomon 1. Let's begin. 1 Kings 12. Then Rehoboam went to Shechem. For in that place, all of Israel had gathered to appoint him as king. Yet truly, Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, while he was still in Egypt as a fugitive from the face of King Solomon, hearing of his death, returned from Egypt. And they sent and called him. Therefore Jeroboam went, with the entire multitude of Israel, and they spoke to Rehoboam, saying, Your father imposed a very harsh yoke upon us. And so, you should now take away a little from the very harsh rule of your father, and from his very grievous yoke, which he imposed upon us, and we will serve you. And he said to them, Go away, until the third day, and then return to me. And when the people had gone away, King Rehoboam took counsel with the elders who had assisted before his father Solomon, while he was still living. And he said, What counsel do you give to me, so that I may respond to this people? They said to him, If today you will obey and serve this people, and yield to their petition, and if you will speak lenient words to them, they will be your servants for all days. But he abandoned the counsel of the old men, which they had given to him. And he consulted the young men who had been raised with him, and who were assisting him. And he said to them, What counsel do you give to me, so that I may respond to this people, who have said to me, Make light the yoke that your father imposed on us? And the young men who had been raised with him said, You shall speak in this way to this people, who have spoken to you, saying, Your father weighed down our yoke. You should relieve us. You shall say this to them, My little finger is thicker than the back of my father. And now, my father placed a heavy yoke upon you, but I will add more upon your yoke. My father cut you with whips, but I will beat you with scorpions. Therefore, Jeroboam and all the people went to Rehoboam on the third day, just as the king had spoken, saying, Return to me on the third day. And the king responded to the people harshly, leaving behind the counsel of the elders that they had given to him. And he spoke to them according to the counsel of the young men, saying, My father weighed down your yoke, but I will add more to your yoke. My father cut you with whips, but I will beat you with scorpions. And the king did not acquiesce to the people, for the Lord had turned him away, so that he might raise up his word, which he had spoken by the hand of Ahijah, the Shilonite, to Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. And so the people, seeing that the king had not been willing to listen to them, responded to him, saying, What part do we have in David? Or what inheritance do we have in the son of Jesse? Go to your own tents, O Israel. Now David, see to your own house. And Israel went away to their own tents. But over all the sons of Israel who were living in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned. Then King Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was over the tribute. And all of Israel stoned him, and he died. Therefore, King Rehoboam, hurrying, climbed into the chariot, and fled to Jerusalem. And Israel drew away from the house of David, even to the present day. And it happened that, when all of Israel had heard that Jeroboam had returned, gathering in assembly, they sent and called him, and they appointed him as king over all of Israel. And no one followed the house of David, except the tribe of Judah alone. Then Rehoboam went to Jerusalem, and he gathered together the entire house of Judah, and the tribe of Benjamin, 180,000 elect men of war, so that they might fight against the house of Israel, and might bring the kingdom back to Rehoboam, the son of Solomon. But the word of the Lord came to Shemaiah, the man of God, saying, Speak to Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, the king of Judah, and to all the house of Judah, and to Benjamin, and to the rest of the people, saying, Thus says the Lord, You shall not go up, and you shall not make war against your brothers, the sons of Israel. Let each man return to his own house. For this word came from me. And they listened to the word of the Lord, and they returned from the journey, as the Lord had instructed them. Then Jeroboam built up Shechem, on Mount Ephraim, and he lived there. And departing from there, he built up Penuel. And Jeroboam said in his heart, Now the kingdom will return to the house of David. If this people ascend to offer sacrifices in the house of the Lord at Jerusalem, and the heart of this people will be converted to their lord Rehoboam, the king of Judah, and they will put me to death, and return to him. And devising a plan, he made 2 golden calves. And he said to them, No longer choose to ascend to Jerusalem. Behold, these are your gods, O Israel, who led you away from the land of Egypt. And he stationed one in Bethel, and the other in Dan. And this word became an occasion of sin. For the people went to adore the calf, even to Dan. And he made shrines on the high places, and he made priests out of the lowest people, who were not of the sons of Levi. And he appointed a solemn day in the 8th month, on the 15th day of the month, in imitation of the solemnity that was celebrated in Judah. And ascending to the altar, he acted similarly in Bethel, so that he immolated to the calves, which he had made. And in Bethel, he appointed priests of the high places, which he had made. And he ascended to the altar, which he had raised up in Bethel, on the 15th day of the 8th month, the day that he had decided in his own heart. And he made a solemnity to the sons of Israel, and he ascended to the altar, so that he might burn incense. 2 Chronicles 10:11. Now Rehoboam set out for Shechem. For in that place all of Israel had convened, so that they might appoint him as king. But when Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who was in Egypt, indeed he had fled to that place from Solomon, had heard it, he promptly returned. And they summoned him, and he arrived with all of Israel. And they spoke to Rehoboam, saying, Your father pressed upon us a very difficult yoke. You should govern us more lightly than your father, who imposed on us a heavy servitude, and so lift up some of the burden, so that we may serve you. But he said, Return to me after 3 days. And when the people had gone away, he took counsel with the elders, who had stood before his father Solomon while he was still living, saying, What counsel would you give to me, so that I may respond to the people? And they said to him, If you please this people, and if you soothe them with words of clemency, they will be your servants for all days. But he set aside the counsel of the elders, and he began to have discussion with the youth, who had been raised with him, and who were among his companions. And he said to them, How does it seem to you? Or how should I respond to this people, who have said to me, Lift up the yoke that your father imposed upon us? But they responded like youths, having been raised with him in luxury, and they said, So shall you speak to the people, who said to you, Your father made our yoke heavy, you should lighten it, and so shall you respond to them, My little finger is thicker than the back of my father. My father imposed a heavy yoke upon you, and I will place more weight upon it. My father cut you with whips, truly, I will beat you with scorpions. Then Jeroboam, and the entire people, went to Rehoboam on the 3rd day, just as he had instructed them. And the king responded harshly, abandoning the counsel of the elders. And he spoke according to the will of the youths, My father imposed a heavy yoke upon you, which I will make heavier. My father cut you with whips, truly, I will beat you with scorpions. And he did not acquiesce to the pleadings of the people. For it was the will of God that his word be fulfilled, which he had spoken by the hand of Ahijah, the Shilonite, to Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. Then the entire people, speaking more harshly to the king, spoke to him in this way, There is no portion for us in David, and there is no inheritance in the son of Jesse. Return to your dwellings, O Israel. Then you, O David, shall pasture your own house. And Israel went away to their dwellings. But Rehoboam reigned over the sons of Israel who were living in the cities of Judah. And King Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was in charge of the tributes. And the sons of Israel stoned him, and he died. And so King Rehoboam hurried to climb into the chariot, and he fled to Jerusalem. And Israel withdrew from the house of David, even to this day. Then Rehoboam went to Jerusalem, and he called together the entire house of Judah and of Benjamin, 180,000 elect men of war, so that he might contend against Israel, and turn back his kingdom to himself. And the word of the Lord came to Shemaiah, the man of God, saying, Speak to Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, the king of Judah, and to all of Israel who are of Judah, or of Benjamin. Thus says the Lord, You shall not ascend and fight against your brothers. Let each one return to his own house. For it is by my will that this has happened. And when they had heard the word of the Lord, they turned back, and they did not continue on against Jeroboam. Then Rehoboam lived in Jerusalem, and he built fortified cities in Judah. And he built up Bethlehem, and Etam, and Tekoa, and also Besser, and Soko, and Adullam. Indeed also Gath, and Mareshah, and Ziph. Then to Aduram, and Lachish, and Azekah, as well as Zorah, and Aijalon, and Hebron, which were very fortified cities in Judah and in Benjamin. And when he had enclosed them with walls, he placed in them rulers, and storehouses of provisions, that is, of oil and wine. Moreover, in each city he made an armory of shields and spears, and he strengthened them with the utmost diligence. And he ruled over Judah and Benjamin. Then the priests and Levites, who were in all of Israel, came to him from all their settlements, leaving behind their suburbs and possessions, and crossing over to Judah and to Jerusalem. For Jeroboam and his followers had cast them out, so that they could not exercise the priestly office to the Lord. And he appointed for himself priests of high places, and of demons, and of calves that he had made. Moreover, out of all the tribes of Israel, whosoever would give their hearts so that they sought the Lord God of Israel, they went to Jerusalem to immolate their victims before the Lord, the God of their fathers. And they strengthened the kingdom of Judah, and they confirmed Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, for 3 years. For they walked in the ways of David and of Solomon, but only for 3 years. Then Rehoboam took his wife Mahalath, the daughter of Jerimoth, son of David, and also Abihail, the daughter of Eliab, son of Jesse. They bore sons for him, Jeush, and Shemariah, and Zaim. And also after her, he married Maacah, the daughter of Absalom, who bore for him Abijah, and Attai, and Ziza, and Shelemith. But Rehoboam loved Maacah, the daughter of Absalom, above all his wives and concubines. For he had taken 18 wives and 60 concubines. And he conceived 28 sons and 60 daughters. Truly, he appointed as the head Abijah, the son of Maacah, to be the ruler over all his brothers. For he thought to make him king, since he was wiser and more powerful than all his sons, even in all the regions of Judah and Benjamin, and in all the fortified cities. And he provided them with very much food, and he sought many wives. Song of Solomon 1. May he kiss me with the kiss of his mouth. So much better than wine are your breasts, fragranced with the finest perfumes. Your name is oil that has been poured out, therefore, the maidens have loved you. Draw me forward. We will run after you in the odor of your perfumes. The king has led me into his storerooms. We will exult and rejoice in you, remembering your breasts above wine. The righteous love you. O daughters of Jerusalem, I am black, but shapely, like the tabernacles of Kedar, like the tents of Solomon. Do not be concerned that I am dark, for the sun has changed my color. The sons of my mother have fought against me. They have made me the keeper of the vineyards. My own vineyard I have not kept. Reveal to me, you whom my soul loves, where you pasture, where you recline at midday, lest I begin to wander after the flocks of your companions. If you yourself do not know, O most beautiful among women, then go out and follow after the steps of the flocks, and pasture your young goats beside the tabernacles of the shepherds. O my love, I have compared you to my company of horsemen against the chariots of Pharaoh. Your cheeks are beautiful, like those of a turtle-dove. Your neck is like a bejeweled collar. We will fashion for you chains of gold, accented with red and silver. While the king was taking his rest, my aromatic ointment sent forth its odor. My beloved is a bundle of myrrh to me. He shall abide between my breasts. My beloved is a cluster of cypress grapes to me, in the vineyards of En-Gadi. Behold, you are beautiful, O my love. Behold, you are beautiful. Your eyes are those of a dove. Behold, you are handsome, O my beloved, and graceful. Our bed is flourishing. The timbers of our houses are of cedar, our ceilings are of cypress.